tolerated. Surely they don't expect one to tolerate.
Dear, what next? First the handle my suitcase breaks, just snaps into... Now?
I mean, you can put a man in the moon, but we can't put a...
This is an outrage. The committee will hear about this, heads will roll. Oh, I intend to file a formal report.
Maybe?
An apology, perhaps?
No? Shocking. Inconvenience. Yeah, sort of like shocking.
I'm going to insist on a meal voucher.
Sharing. A dry sharing.
Gee, a cup of coffee would sure go down.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the delay. The airline has authorized, I'm happy to say, a cup of coffee for each and every inconvenience passenger.
Well, I should hope so.
Hey, great! You know, there's nothing in this world like the smell of coffee.
That's for sure.
Ça sent bon.
Best smell.
Well, there are some people, and I believe I am one of them, who hold the opinion that the best smell in the world,
Yes.
it is only my opinion of course, but have you perhaps on occasion walked through a virgin forest early in the morning after a little rainfall? It is, how you say, the perfume of nature, an aroma that is unrivaled in the world.
Yeah, man.
Speaking personally, now I expect this is going to sound absurd, but I do distinctly remember from my childhood the smell of liver and bacon frying.
I beg your pardon?
This was during the war years, you understand? A time of courage and deprivation. We had strict rationing, so many ounces of meat per week. A difficult time, you have no idea. But we came to appreciate small things, humble things. And one day, a cold, damp day, January, I believe, I returned to my school. I was 12, 13, a child really. I opened my door, and at once was struck by a veritable gale of sensation. Liver and bacon. My mother stood in the kitchen with a meat fork in hand. She was like a priestess. And from the smoking fry pan beside her came a smell that was always seemed to me to be unrivaled in the world of smells. A kingly smell. I don't expect any of you to understand.
But it's kind of like we had to be there, right?
Right.
My father was a man of simple but severe tastes, a traditionalist in the finest sense. We were far from being affluent.
Affluent. You're welcome.
Due to commodities, wonderful man. As a girl, I was given the chore of doing his laundry. The laundry, they no longer exist. They used to be very small, crowded, steamy, and that smell, how can I describe that smell?
The smell of cleanliness.
Scorched cotton.
Starch, bleach.
I also know these heavenly smells.
Yeah, me too in a way.
No, the smell that held the security of the present and possibility of the future. Tradition and dignity, comfort and order. One of the finest smells in the world.
I kind of know what you mean, but...
What, my boy?
I mean, clean smells are great, don't get me wrong. It's hard to explain, but try. Alright, well, I played a little hockey in my days, well, a lot of hockey. Geez, it seems like yesterday that my dad took me down to the rink and signed me up. And ever since that day, I thought I'd be a star playing for like the Maple Leafs or something.
It is the most interesting game, this hockey.
Yeah, well... Most parents, when their kids grow out their skates, they bring them down to a secondhand store, but not my dad. He saved my skates. He's a little different. What's the word I'm looking for?
Sentimental.
Yeah, like that, sentimental. He has all my skates in a big old box in the basement. My first skates from when I first started off to my size 12s when we won the provincials. Clean smells are great, don't get me wrong, but the smell of stinky old hockey skates, well, they're the smell of all smells.
You know what I love? Is the smell of a party. Going to a party when you first get there. And you're standing in the doorway and you can smell the boots lined up there. And it's partly cold and partly warm. And there's a chip and dip breeze blowing in from the living room. And cologne and aftershave and just
Well, my husband, he travels a fair amount. He's, you know, a consultant. He goes all over the world. And usually he comes home with his suitcase, just chock full, just bulging with dirty socks and underwears. And, well, last year I opened his suitcase and, well, last year he went to Mali.
Malai.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
In Africa, where they sing the
Ah, that is true.
Well, he came home and I opened his suitcase, expecting I'd find the same old dirty socks and underwears. But what I didn't know was he had it all washed there. He said they washed up by hand and then dried them on the bushes to hang. Couldn't believe it. Oh, my nose was smelling.
The smell of purity. Fresh linen, nothing like it.
No. No. Just that? So much more. So I buried my nose and all that clean, folded up linen. I realized what I was smelling was Africa. I can smell Africa.
Excellent. Hey, that's
The smell of cold metal, water pipes and swings in the park, doorknobs.
The smell of a brand new newspaper when you first open it.
Oh, I don't understand that.
Peanut butter when you first hit the top
Oh,
off.
anything that you have to work out to open, it smells best when you have to work at it. Getting the cork out of it.
Somebody with a brand new that smells great. It's so crisp and hasn't been slept in. It's perfect.
Wallpaper, cake.
Christmas tree ornaments when you bring them down from the attic.
Oh, the best smell. The best smell, are you guys listening? The best smell is a smell with a combination of smells, like wet wool and brandy, when you come from being heroic.
Boiled cabbage and cooking gas.
Erasers, wow, blockers and dirty teeth.
And what I find is so marvelous is that each of us have a smell of its own.
Flight 4 is now ready to board. Will passengers for please go to gate.
You'll please follow me, ladies and gentlemen.
Coffee, boy. A fresh cup of coffee, sure.
Popcorn, an old-fashioned bowl of,
When you call it, fine wheat, but